In about 1 week, if you understand and follow the steps given in this video, you are going to start trusting yourself again. You are going to start feeling that confidence and that self esteem return to you. My name is Amit, and I am a self awareness teacher and an author. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to cultivate self trust. In order to understand how to cultivate self trust, we have to understand what are the blockers for self trust. What are the things we are doing in our daily life that totally prevent us from having that trust we are looking for. And the problem is threefold. Okay. So I'm going to describe the problem first. And as you see, we will need three different solutions to address each of these three problems. The first is a problem of predictability. We cannot predict our own actions. We decide to do something and then can't do it. Or we take an action and we then don't know what the consequences of that action are going to be. Or there are just way too many variables. And the thing we decide to do, start our own business or reach out to a certain person or learn a new skill or whatever it is that you want to do, it is so difficult that we cannot predict how it's going to go. So that's the first problem, the problem of predictability. The second problem is a problem of energy, okay, which means we are so drained at the end of the day that every single morning we wake up, we are just tired. We just don't know where to find the energy, the intention, the determination, the inspiration to keep going. So that's the second problem we have to solve. We need to have a tremendous amount of energy if we need to keep taking actions that build self trust. What is the third problem? The third problem is the problem of intention, okay, which is we need to cultivate intentional thinking in our lives. Because we are only operating at the level of accidental thinking, of whims, of total lack of any kind of planning, and it's not even intuition, it is just accidental action. If it happens, it happens. See? So we are not intentional in our actions, because of which the next time we want to do a certain thing, we don't feel as if we can do it. We lack self trust. So these are the three problems we have to address: the problem of predictability, the problem of energy, and the problem of intention. The first thing we have to do is cultivate a simple habit. How does a habit solve a predictability problem? You see, the habits we usually try to cultivate are big habits. We say, okay, I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going to start eating healthy from tomorrow. Or I'm going to start working hard on this particular problem I'm trying to solve, or this business I'm trying to build, or this skill or art I'm trying to learn. And those are the wrong approaches, because the habit we are trying to cultivate is too complex in nature. So we have to cultivate a simple habit. How simple? So simple that it is always predictable, always doable, always within our reach, and does not depend on other people. Okay? What are those habits like? They can be as simple as I'm going to wake up every single day and drink a warm glass of water. Okay? Very simple. Before I go to sleep every night, I'm going to recall everything that happened during my day. Just run through the things that happened. Just a simple habit. Or if you're into prayer, if you believe in God, then I pray every night before I sleep. Whatever it is that you decide to do, it should be simple, doable, and within your control. What that is going to do is, when you repeat this simple thing every single day, it's going to teach your subconscious mind to trust yourself. Because look, this is such a small thing that the amount of variation that can come into this particular small habit is negligible. And because the amount of variation is negligible, I can repeat the habit every single day exactly as I plan to do it. So every single morning you wake up and you don't look at your phone, you just close your eyes, take a few conscious breaths, and connect with your body, do some stretching. You start feeling as if you're cultivating a habit. This habit, you might say, doesn't change my life. It doesn't have to. It's not about bringing a profound change in your life. It's about bringing those small changes which have a profound effect in the long run. Okay? Because remember, we are trying to bring predictability in our decision making process. teaching our subconscious mind how to cultivate a habit. So that's the first thing. Second thing, stop wasting your time on stupid things, on unessential things. Identify areas in your life where you're wasting your energy. What does that mean? How many people do you talk to during the day with whom you discuss politics, with whom you discuss things which do not really affect your life that much? How much time do you spend reading the news, which does not really affect your life that much? It's important to be informed, don't get me wrong, but you can manage that by just reading the headlines in the morning or having someone send to you the headlines of the day, and that's it. There are many services out there which will help you do it. But because you endlessly scroll on news websites, endlessly scroll on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, you are now wasting time and accumulating information in your mind which is useless. Your mind still has to process it. So when your mind processes it, what happens? It wastes energy, it loses energy. Remember, the first problem was predictability, but the second problem was a problem of energy. Okay, so because you are wasting energy in doing unessential things, you are tired all the time. Because you're tired, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust that whatever you want to do can be done because, look, I'm always tired. How can I ever follow my dreams? How can I ever do this thing I want to do? Because I'm always tired. Remove unessential things from your life. If you want to understand how much time you're wasting, go to your cell phone and find the setting. Now, there's different settings for Android and different settings for iPhone, but I use an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you can check screen time, and this setting in your phone will tell you how much time you're wasting on your cell phone. And on an average, you will realize if you're like everyone else, you waste about 4 to 5 hours every single day on your cell phone. That is a lot of time wasted. 5 hours every day is 5 times 7 is 35 hours a week. Okay, 35 hours a week, more than a day just gone. So be disciplined about removing unnecessary activities from your life, because if you do that, if you stop watching those TV shows which don't really or add anything to your life, that is taking away from your self-trust because it is draining your energy. So stop wasting time on things that do not matter. The third thing, cultivate creative solitude. Okay, creative solitude is going to help you solve the intention problem. Why? Because most of us feel that, okay, I'm lonely, I don't have anybody I'm dating in my life, I don't have too many friends, and therefore I'm lonely. Being lonely doesn't mean you have solitude. Okay, having solitude is something completely different than being lonely, because in your loneliness you're craving the company of others. When you are in solitude, you're not craving anything. Solitude is self-imposed, loneliness is society imposed. Okay, cultivate that solitude, because solitude means you do not have constant information bombarding your brain, you do not have constant accompaniment of people, you're not always listening to music, you're not always listening to audiobooks, you're not always listening to podcasts, none of those things, which means you are left with your own thoughts. If you go for a walk and you do not take your cell phone with you, that means you are experiencing solitude. Or you simply look outside your window every morning for 15-20 minutes, just look at what's happening on the street, that's solitude. And if you have solitude, that solitude naturally becomes creative, because you start looking at your life in a way that you have never looked at before, because you have so much energy left now. See? So cultivate a small, predictable habit. Stop wasting time on stupid things and start cultivating creative solitude. If you do these three things, within a week, you are going to start feeling this intense connectedness from within. Whether that inspiration tells you to start working on your passions more, working on your hobbies more, or whether it starts saying, I need to start meditating more, or I need to start journaling more, whatever it is that you do, it is going to start bringing you closer and closer to yourself. It is going to give you more control over your life. And that's what's going to build your self-trust. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, or share with someone you're close to. Thank you for being a part of this journey.